Hey guys, what's up? Pixel Art Builder 583 here again for another edition of the PAB Magazine. Life has been taking its toll lately as per usual, but hey, we gotta let that take precedence out of all things. And yes, more shit has been experienced outside of that, which made me absolutely mad at first, though that wasn't for long. But I'll continue grieving that later. Right now, I want to get some things knocked out of the ballpark first. Sam, the floor is yours for these first few topics.
Thank you, Pix. Now then, first off we got Microsoft Sam Plays Minecraft we gotta worry about. First off is the progress for Season 8 Episode 3. We've been having a lot of setbacks with production speed and pacing, though we did make a lot of progress since the last edition we covered this. We are just extremely close to the end of its development, as Pix and one of his friends have been working closely together to perfect its detail, well, to make it at least great enough for viewability, that is. That is, however, in the very ending scene that both of them deemed to be one of the most important scenes for the episode yet. Everything else, in the other hand, has been reviewed and peer-reviewed and promptly fixed as soon as Pix was available. So with that being said, all in all, we just need only a few more things at most to be done, and then we should get the episode ready to premiere. Though do be warned, however, it is an absolutely big one that will premiere. That's the reason the episode took about almost a year to produce, other than the setbacks and moments we experienced along the way. That in of itself, however, is just the tip of the iceberg. When we dive into the roadmap for the rest of the season, we're planning on incorporating some more stable routines for episode production, which are that we may start as early as a certain date, whenever Pix gives the green light for it, and then we can be free to work as best as we can to produce the rest of the season. One episode, if all goes well, might probably undergo some revisions script-wise. That way, when that's reviewed by the team too, we can avoid potential plot holes being inadvertently introduced. For example, with Season 8 Episode 4, if all goes well enough with Episode 3 of that same season, we may or may not start working on that at a certain day. We want to get that done by the time 2024 ends, but we certainly cannot promise that at this point, since we know full well stuff's just gonna change. Which is why I'm gonna say for the matter, the stuff for all the season episodes is tentative. Now on to a similar topic, but yet different. The Microsoft Sam Plays Minecraft Dungeons episodes. After some of the secret level episodes that were done and dusted, nothing more was done about that series afterwards. But that should be less of an issue for us, since 5 more episodes got pre-recorded. This time, these prepare for the DLC levels on adventure difficulty. These may be a retread in the same ground in a sense, but that is one of the ways to up the challenge a bit to prepare for what's ahead. Because for the record, the DLC would expect the player to get the hang of the nuances and fundamentals of the game, especially as most levels get harder than others depending on the gear that's being used. As for editing the pre-recorded episodes, I'm considering those a lower priority than the rest of the main NSSBMC series in terms of schedule. Which means we'll focus on what's more important first, before we go over to the side content. With that said, we are going over to the next topic, which is for Microsoft Sam and Friends Play Left 4 Dead 2. The previous episode of that Lost Swap episode 2, where I played as Lewis and Coach, Mike went Bill and Nick, and Scotty went Francis and Alice. In Swap episode 3 however, there's gonna be a completely different order of characters, and you people could guess what that order is, if you wanted to. But of course, jokes aside, we are also planning Swap episode 3, though there may still be people who are either busy or taking some time to recover. But as we speak, we are gonna need to figure out a good way to progress through that Swap episode. However, that may be placed in a similar priority, as Minecraft Dungeons currently is. We're not planning to get this Swap episode recorded yet, but we are thinking about it as we go along. To add to that, we got custom campaign attempts in the docket next. At least 2 more campaigns are being planned at that avenue, which gives more food for thought for the future episodes that come up. Once we get those planned out, unlike the Swap Episode 3 roster, it will not require all four of me, Mike, Mary and Scotty. But speaking of rosters, we've been struggling to think of characters and ways to spice the content up. However, at the moment, I was thinking at one point of having Mary and Scotty assist me in one campaign and Mike again on another. Because one of the campaigns that are queued for recording are one of those campaigns that was attempted at one point in the earlier days, but failed for reasons related to some of the recording giving out. Some people may be in the know of what that is, although we're not going to give it away yet for those who aren't. But we'll try to consider that as well in case slower pacings arise. That being out of the way, I'm also gonna talk about Microsoft Sam Plays Killing Floor 2. Yes, I realize it's been a few months since May when the previous few episodes dropped, and I'm gonna apologize profusely for that. Sorry. But the good news is, another episode is dropping by waiting to be edited out at one point or another, especially since we thought we'd give someone who assisted in the episode some proper recognition. To some of the people in the know of what I'm talking about, do not spoil it. But anyway, we're also gonna consider editing the pre-recorded episode of this out, before we go back to planning even more material for the time being, until there's more stable traction on at least some of the series we're covering. It may not be easy, but I will say, oh, it will have long been worth it in the end. Now then, I'm gonna transition over to Mary for her piece to cover.
Thank you, Sam. Now then, it's time we did some updating on a series that we finished weeks ago, Microsoft Mary Plays Shantae and the Seven Sirens. Now we all know that we knocked it away out of the park, but I'm bringing it up because I actually have an idea of what I'm planning to do next. Though it may involve going back in time to one of the older games that weren't considered before, and we may have to do some changes to the structure of cast and so forth. You may take a wild guess of what I'm implying, but I'm not going to promise that it's going to hold out steadily enough. If it does, we have no solid idea of what ideas may or may not make it. At least not yet, that is. Which is also why I'm also considering another game to play, or something else. Either way, for now, I'm gonna chill with any stuff starring me for the time being, unless Pix or anyone else convinces me otherwise. Anyway, I'm now gonna go back to Pix for the next and final topic to cover.
Thank you, Mary. Now then, it's on to one special project that I've been conceptualizing for a long time, and that's with the Halloween special. Now, before anyone gets on my back and says that the previous one took an unbelievably long time and was late, I know that it was. But I don't care that much about deadlines anymore, since I do these videos for entertainment purposes only. Before I go on a tangent about it though, I'll say right now that I have a general idea on how this year's Halloween special may play out, if lucky. But that general idea is actually gonna be a hint. It involves one of the elements I used back in 2016. I will not confirm or deny anything for the matter, because I'm planning for it to be one very big special, not in terms of length, but in terms of impact. I'm currently on the planning stages of it, and I'll keep it relatively on point, alongside a few collaborators of mine to assist me in case things get rough. I'm not promising that it'll be released on Halloween on time, however, but I am going to make this special a damn epic one for sure. However, expect production of that to start after we get Microsoft Sam Plays Minecraft Season 8 Episode 3 completed. No ETAs though. So now, with that being said, you know what time it is. Recap. 1. Microsoft Sam Plays Minecraft has a rough roadmap for what may come ahead, and the Dungeons content has 5 pre-recorded episodes considered for editing. 2. Microsoft Sam and friends play Left 4 Dead 2 Swap Episode 3 and custom campaign attempts are also being considered. 3. Same goes for another episode of Microsoft Sam Plays Killing Floor 2. 4. We'll chill with Microsoft Mary related series until we find some ideas to bridge the gap with. 5. The Halloween special is on its playing stages. And that's that for this edition of the PAB Magazine. If you guys enjoyed this one, be sure to like and subscribe for more in the future. This is Pixel Art Builder 583 signing off. Peace out.